Guys, I'm concerned that a large amount of the Xbox player base is going to be false flagged as cheaters permanently because of the way the developers are handling the release of Outriders and their cheating policy. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think after you've watched the video, and follow me on twitch.tv/Damocles, trying to get to 15K subscribers so that the algorithm doesn't hate me. So any help you could provide, please and thank you. First off, I don't want anyone to think that I'm bashing the developers in any way. I love this game. I've put in probably 200 hours into the demo. I'm going to put in a ton of hours into the full game. And I think that their transparency in regards to their rules so far has been fantastic. But I'm very concerned with how their cheating policies are going to affect the Xbox launch of the game. And now, for those of you not in the know, and for those of you that don't go on the Outriders subreddit or follow them on Twitter, this video is probably more for you guys because this is kind of what I'm talking about. So, for those of you that aren't aware, the Outriders development team basically put out a developer update that stated their cheating policy because a lot of people were cheating and hacking and abusing vendors in the demo. They basically came out and said that, if you wanted to move into the full game, you have to wipe your account clean, and then they'll basically let you off with a clean slate. Now, one of the things that people were doing, which wasn't hacking, was they were going into their system settings on their PC or on their console, and they were manually changing the system time so that the vendors would reset in the demo and thus allowed them to get weapons that they wanted more quickly. Specifically, this was at the earlier days of the demo where epics were still obtainable in the vendors. It was just a very slight chance. So obviously, people were going and constantly resetting their vendor time so that they could get all purples. If you see anybody running around in all purples now, it's because they did this. The developers essentially said that this won't be tolerated in the full game, but in the demo, because they hadn't stated anything about it, no issue. However, they said that externally modifying your time in the full game and doing any kind of hacking or anything like that will put a permanent mark on your account and on your screen so that in the future, anybody that looks at your screen will see that you cheated to get where you were at. And among other things, you won't be able to matchmake with legit players. Your matchmaking will be a lot slower, and you'll basically torpedo your multiplayer experience of the game if they have found you to be cheating in any of these areas. Now, the problem with that is since the Xbox's console launch, which was however many years ago, the console is not region locked. It was a major selling point of the console. So, the reason why I'm on my system, language, and location is you can go, and right now I'm obviously in the United States, but you can go and change your console location to wherever you want to be at, and it allows you to, change your currencies, whatever, change time zones. So, since the release of the console, though, if a game has been on Game Pass and certain other games as well, if you go and switch your time zone to New Zealand, you can essentially play the game a decent amount of hours ahead of time. Off the top of my head, I don't remember how long it is. It's a significant amount of time ahead of time. Maybe it's like 12 hours, 9 hours. So, since the release of the Xbox, people have been doing this. They've been switching their region to New Zealand. They play the game for 9 hours before it's actually released. And then when midnight release happens, they switch back to the United States and play it like normal. The problem is that for no game in the history of Xbox has this ever been an issue before. So it's very common to do. And I mean very, 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 very common to do because there's no damaging repercussions. You just get to play your game 9 hours early. That's it. The issue comes in when Outriders now is seemingly going to permanently put a mark on your account that's going to ruin your $60 gaming purchase And unless you're on the subreddit, unless you're on Twitter and you're following their updates, your account could potentially be ruined before the game is even released and you don't even know why. And so that is my main problem at this point. Now I know that there's going to be some PC or PlayStation players out there that are like, oh, whatever, like just wait your turn, do whatever. The problem is number one, I don't know if what they're referring to in their developer notes is actually referring to this, because this is very different from someone going and changing their system time 1 hour ahead, or 12 years ahead into the future to get rapidly switched vendor roles and therefore exploiting the game. It's a very different situation than just switching your console region to New Zealand. You're not trying to hack anything. People have just been doing this forever, and you get to play the game earlier, but it's not like you're not actually like cheating, so to speak. Make sense? And so I don't even know if what they're saying in their developer notes is in relation to this, but at first glance, it seems like anything you do externally to your time is just going to permanently flag your account and put in all of those matchmaking restrictions, like I said before. And obviously, that's a huge issue. Now, what I'm hoping is that there's more to it than that. I'm hoping that they're checking to make sure that you're not rapidly resetting a vendor multiple times with this change time, and that's what's going to cause the flag. But the truth is that we don't fully know because there hasn't been a further explanation on this. So, what I'm thinking is going to happen potentially, best case scenario, I'll start with best case scenario. Best case scenario, doesn't matter. People can swap their stuff to New Zealand, play normally. Nobody's hacking, nobody's trying to cheat or anything like that, and they're just going to be able to play their accounts normally. It'll be great. I'm probably going to try and be one of those people. Worst case scenario is you have, the Outriders subreddit only has like 30,000 people on there, and even those people aren't even fully aware of what developer notes say. So maybe you've got like 1,000 people worldwide that actually understand what's going on. The actual demo numbers, what was it, like 2 million downloads or something? So you have the potential, obviously I'm extrapolating here, you have the potential of like 1.9 million people who want to purchase this game or who are playing it on Xbox to go switch their time to New Zealand, and before the game is even released, they're permanently marked as cheaters and their game is ruined forever. I'm like, forever. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's not just like, oh, you got a mark on your screen. It's like you have a scarlet letter basically that says like you cheated. You're lumped in with every hacker or whatever, and you won't be able to matchmake. You won't be able to do anything basically except for play solo. And keep in mind, if you're not on the subreddit and you haven't read those notes, you have zero idea why this is happening, if it's even happening to you, or what to do about it, or what caused it. There's no recourse. And so that is my main worry for this launch, is that I want this launch to go off with an absolute bang. I want it to be perfect. I want the, news headlines to be, Outriders player base is XYZ going crazy, yada yada, great launch. I don't want to see, Kotaku running this story that says Outriders release 1 million Xbox players permanently banned before the game is even released, and they have zero idea why. Like, those types of stories detract from how great this game is, and that is my main concern. This is something I have to iterate this again. I know PC players, PlayStation players, you guys, at least from the response I've seen so far, they're just like, oh, console, whatever. But it's bigger than just like Xbox, right? It's like the actual, I mean, it's crossplay. These are people that you're going to be playing with or not playing with. This has a massive impact on the overall player base if a large amount of Xbox players suddenly cannot matchmake, right? Like, it defeats the purpose of actually splitting up hackers from the rest of the people if these people aren't actually trying to hack. They're just doing something that they've been able to do for literally 10 years, and this is the first game ever that's going to punish them for doing so. I'd really love to know your thoughts. What do you guys think I should do? Should I go and set my time zone to New Zealand and just chance it? Or should I wait until the full game is released and play it on US time? For Game Pass games, historically, I've always done it on New Zealand time. From Mass Effect Andromeda to Cyberpunk. Never had an issue. Everybody switches their location to New Zealand and plays it a little bit ahead of time. But the issue here is like I'm trying to make content for you guys. I'm playing on Xbox. Like I'm not hacking. Like it would be so easy to just go and like hop on a PC where some, douche canoe's using a trainer and just get every single legendary weapon. Like I play on Xbox, so I like playing on Xbox, and because there isn't as many cheaters on Xbox. Like so if I'm going and like I'm playing legit, but I go and switch my thing to New Zealand and I'm flagged as a cheater for the rest of my content on Outriders, like that's terrible. Like that is horrifying to me. Like I've literally sunk in like 200 hours into this demo. Didn't do any kind of vendor refreshing because I didn't want to potentially have my account be banned and lose all my legendaries. But now it's like, even though everything I'm doing is by the books, if I there's the slight chance that if I go and switch over to New Zealand for 8 hours, that everything that I've worked for so far and all my future content is just going to be flagged as the same as if I was hacking or cheating. I've tweeted at the developers. I've messaged them on Reddit numerous times. It's a major topic on Discord. I just would really love some clarification. If they say don't do it, then you don't do it. But the fact that we don't really know, it's scary to think about, right? Like even if I find out, even if the developers answer me and tweet back at me and say, "Hey, this isn't how this works," the majority of the player base that's on Xbox that's never used a subreddit before, that doesn't know about these developer updates, they're going to go and do this anyway. And then you're going to be inundated with people that say, I didn't hack or cheat. Why do I have a scarlet letter on my account? Why can't I matchmake? And so that's what I'm concerned about. Again, not knocking the developers in any way. I love this game. I love everything about it. And I want to make more content for it. And that's why I'm concerned. And I hope you guys can kind of understand where I'm coming from. Sorry if I rambled, but I'm just trying to get this message out there so that we can get some kind of a response back and so that we have, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC players all playing together as they should, and the actual hackers are not playing with us. Please feel free to share this around. Put it on Reddit, put it on Discord, put it on wherever you want to. If you manage to get a developer response in any way, please leave a comment, let me know. And if you disagree with me or you do agree with me, please comment down below. I'm really curious to see what everyone's opinion on this is. Mostly I'm seeing, negativity coming from the PC side because PC master race, and I get that. I love playing on PC, but this goes above the whole console war PC type nonsense. This is like people are dropping $60 in the middle of a pandemic, and there's the potential that their purchase is going to be rendered null and void essentially before the game is even released. So that's my concern, guys. Next video you'll see is much more upbeat, but I just wanted to kind of vent and get this out there because it's honestly my only concern going into the full game is this happening. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Please, please, please let me know what you think down below. Share it around so this can be seen by more people, so that more people can make an informed decision on if they want to actually change their location in New Zealand and play the game a little bit earlier or not. And trying to hit 15K subscribers. Please like, comment, subscribe down below, and follow me on twitch.tv/Adamocles. That's going to be it for me, guys. Again, I'm just watching out for you. If you guys have anything that you want me to talk about in the future, please let me know what your concerns are, and I'd love to talk about them. Thanks. Damocles out.